So you sat down and made a budget, feeling like a responsible adult, mapping it all out. Groceries, rent, savings, and then bam! 2 weeks later, you're over budget, your checking account is bleeding, and you're left there wondering what the heck happened. If that sounds like you, then you and I might have something in common. Let's talk about why sticking to a budget is so damn hard, even if you start out with the best intentions, and why it might not just be a discipline problem. The first thing wrong with budgets is that they're made by our ideal self. The person who meal preps, skips coffee runs, and never gets surprised by a random expense. The person that doesn't exist. The reality of the situation is we budget like robots, but live like humans. You never plan to go out 3 times in 1 week, but when your friend texts you drinks tonight, suddenly your eating out budget is blown by Thursday. Life's not consistent, so why do we expect our budget to be? I'll give you guys an example. So for me, every month, a couple of friends and I get together, grab a bite to eat, and catch up. And most of the time, one of those friends really likes appetizers, and so he always buys something to share for the table. Well, this past month, we were out, and he really wanted to get oysters to share. And since he's gotten them the past couple of times, I thought it'd be cool if I put this one on my bill. Small gesture. But it turns out, and I don't know if y'all know this or not, but oysters are super expensive. And my $30 meal quickly turned into a $60 meal. And just like that, I was over budget for the month. Sometimes it's just these small split-second decisions that can make us go way off when it comes to our budget. Budgeting is math, and spending is emotional. If you feel stressed out, then treat yourself and order some takeout. If you're feeling left out, then go to a brewery and grab a drink with a friend. We're constantly bombarded with messages to buy, spend, and indulge. And let's be honest, when you're feeling tired or overwhelmed, your budget is not the voice that we're gonna listen to. Here's the thing. We all love to believe that we're rational creatures, but when it comes to money, most of us are just trying to feel something, whether that be reward, control, comfort, or even an escape. Have you ever noticed that spending gives you a little hit of dopamine? Whether it just be a small coffee or a package arriving at your door, it feels good, right? By no means is that random. Your brain is literally rewarding you for spending. And once you associate spending with good, budgeting can feel like a punishment, like restriction, like you're always saying no to yourself. On top of that, the marketing does not help you. Everywhere you look, someone's trying to sell you a solution to your feelings. If you're sad, go get ice cream. If you're bored, buy this fancy new gadget. If you're stressed, add to cart. This stuff is literally baked in our culture. So when you set a budget and you try to follow it like a set of rules, you're literally fighting against thousands of tiny emotional triggers all day long. And sometimes we don't even realize we're spending emotionally until way after the fact. Like when you open up your bank account and you're like, when did I spend $83 at Target? And this isn't about being irresponsible or bad with money. It's just being human. But if we continue to ignore the emotional side of money, then no budget, no matter how perfect it is, will ever work for you. Here's the other problem with a budget. It's not with you when you're out living your life. Like, sure, maybe you made this beautiful spreadsheet, or you set up a bunch of categories in your favorite budgeting app, but you're not opening that up in the middle of your Target run. And you're definitely not opening it up when you're ordering sushi at 1 a.m. In that moment, you're not thinking, oh, I only have $28.14 left to spend on dining this month. No, you're thinking, I'm tired and I'm hungry. Constantly checking your budget can feel like a chore. It's mentally exhausting. And even when you do check it, it can be discouraging when you see that you only have $10 left and the month's barely even halfway through. Eventually, it just becomes easier to ignore it and hope that it all works out in the end. Plus, who wants to pull out their phone in the middle of dinner and scroll through a bunch of categories while your friends are over there ordering drinks and appetizers? It feels awkward. It feels restrictive, and it kind of kills the vibe. And let's be real for a second. Unless you're obsessed with tracking every dollar you spend, and respect to you if you are, that's great, but you probably are forgetting to update your budget right after you spend money anyway. So halfway through the month, your budget doesn't even reflect reality anymore. It's outdated and it's basically lying to you. And that makes it way harder to trust the numbers, which makes you way less likely to check it, which turns into this ugly cycle of budget, forget, overspend, feel guilty about it, repeat. And the worst part, you end up blaming yourself for it. But the truth is, it's not you, it's a system problem. So yeah, sticking to a budget is hard, but not because you suck at money. It's because you're human and you live in a world that's constantly pushing you to spend money without thinking. But the good news is there are ways to work with your habits instead of constantly fighting against them. Firstly, build in flexibility. Budgets fail when they're too tight. So instead of pretending like you're gonna spend $200 on groceries this month, instead give yourself a budget of $200 to $250, depending on how many snacks you indulge yourself in this weekend. The extra wiggle room will take the pressure off, and it will make you less likely to completely ditch your budget when things just go slightly off track. And best of all, sometimes you'll be on the lower end of that budget range, which means you've got extra money left over at the end of the month. And I don't know about you guys, but I love myself a little extra money at the end of the month. Second, check in weekly, not daily. Nobody wants to check their budget 24/7. Instead, just pick a day of the week, maybe Sunday, and review your categories. Make sure you're still on track and move money around if you need to. And just make it casual. Light a candle, put on your favorite songs, and just vibe, you know? Third, create a guilt-free spending category. Literally label it stupid, fun money and spend it completely emotionally, like the way you do when you buy your $7 lattes. This way, spending emotionally doesn't make you a failure because it's part of the plan. And you're still sticking to the budget. You're just budgeting in the fact that you're human and you like to spend money on cool things. And finally, simplify. If detailed budgets stress you out, then try something a little more simple. Start by only tracking 3 main categories and only worry about those for the first couple of months. Or maybe try out the envelope method. There's plenty of amazing budgeting techniques out there. Just look them up and try something that works for you. The goal isn't perfection, it's awareness. Because when you know what's going on with your money, even if it's just a little more than you did previously, you feel more in control. And that's where real change starts. Anyway, that's the majority of the video. I want to thank y'all for coming out and watching it. Really appreciate it. So the reason I wanted to make this budgeting video is because I've been keeping a budget for a long time now. And I feel like I've been keeping it, but I really haven't been seeing any progress with it. Like sometimes I just go over budget and nothing really changes because of that. And I was wondering why. So I did a little research and I figured some of my findings could help some of you guys. So I hope you guys gained a thing or two from watching this, or at the very least found it entertaining. And if you did, maybe consider leaving a like or subscribing to the channel. Could be pretty cool. But without further ado, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.